Hello everybody, welcome to this week's Wisdom Wednesday. My name is Kristen Gear. I am the Director of Operations for BNI Arizona, and I provide support for all of our 80 plus chapters, and every week I come to you providing a weekly education nugget called Wisdom Wednesday that counts as one chapter education unit for watching. This is the only education unit that is less than an hour in length that equals a chapter education unit. So normally, chapter education units, one unit equals 1 hour of time. So regular podcasts, guys, those do not count as one CU per podcast unless it's an hour in length. So if you choose a long podcast, amazing. Usually the podcasts are around 15 minutes, some are longer. So you want to make sure that you're adding up the time of 1 hour of listening to podcasts to equal 1 CEU. So I just want to make sure to remind everybody that, because I have been hearing different things through different visits. So I wanted just to make sure that everyone knew 1 CEU equals 1 hour of time. Awesome. So it's the beginning of the month, guys, and I just recently sent out the Power of One. It was sent out by BNI Corporate late yesterday, so it went out this afternoon. So congratulations to all of our amazing members that hit 100% club. Being in 100% means that those members hit 100% on all 5 of the different areas on the Power of One for 6 months in a row. It's a 6-month average. That report, yes, I send it out month to month, but it's a 6-month average of activity from month to month. That's why a lot of times the numbers don't fluctuate a whole lot, because it is a whole 6-month snapshot. So we're going to be posting our 100% club leaders on social media very soon. So thank you guys for all participating so much. I know that one of the biggest things is visitors. Now over the next couple months, we have Member Extravaganza and Beningo. So I can't wait to see how many more members hit that 100% club with getting more visitors in the room. Now as a reminder, guys, a visitor, for it to count on your chapter's reports, to give you credit for a visitor, they need to be a first-time visitor to your chapter, and they need to be eligible to apply for membership. They don't need to be approved for membership. They just need to be eligible to apply for membership. So if the category is already full in your chapter, they would be considered a guest to your chapter, not a visitor. And if a member from another chapter is visiting your chapter, even if their category is open, they're still considered a guest because they're not eligible to apply for membership in your chapter. So I wanted to make sure, now that we're deep into, well, I shouldn't say deep into, because we are starting Member Extravaganza, but this is really good to know. This question comes up a lot through Member Extravaganza and all of the activities that we're going to have over the next couple months. So I do get the question a lot as to why certain people did not show up as a visitor on the Palms report. So it's always going to be that only the first-time visitors, and if they're eligible to apply for membership, those are the 2 qualifications for someone to show up as a visitor on the Palms report for your chapter. Now, if you are sponsoring a member in another chapter, unfortunately, you wouldn't be able to get visitor credit for them visiting that chapter, because then it'll throw off your own chapter's visitor to member conversion ratios. However, you want to make sure that they put your name as a sponsor on their application, because you can sponsor members cross chapter. So I just wanted to make sure to clarify that, so that way everyone is clear on what constitutes as a visitor to show up as a visitor to count for your numbers in BNI Connect. Now, with the Power of One, we've got all of the 5 different areas. So one of the things that I recommend, guys, and that I put in the email every single month, is to look at your own numbers and make a goal for over the next month to increase one of the areas on the Power of One. Now, if you're on the 100% club, hey, the goal is to maintain 100%, right? But if you're not at that 100% level, hey, like, what of the 5 different areas could you improve on? That's one of the great things about the report, is utilizing that report as a goal mechanism to make goals for your participation in BNI, because the more you put into BNI, the more you're going to get out. So you want to make sure that you're actively participating. We don't want to be just 90-minute members showing up to the meeting, assuming we're going to get things just from showing up to the 90-minute meeting, right? So there's a lot more that happens outside of that weekly meeting that we want to ensure that we're keeping in mind every single week. So if we attend a meeting every week, so that should be top priority, first of all, because visibility is key. You gotta show up to win. I would highly recommend viewing your weekly meetings as your number one client of the week. Schedule things around your number one client of the week, guys, because the best person to talk about your business is yourself. So you want to make sure that you're actively at those weekly meetings. So visibility is key with attendance. So that's an easy one, right? The next easiest one is chapter education units. I give you the credit every single week. All you have to do is watch my short videos and log it. I would say that's probably the biggest thing, because I see a lot of goose eggs in the CEU column, which shouldn't be, because I'm giving you these easy chapter education units every single week, guys. So make sure that you're logging these. If you've missed past videos, you can go on this page and search for Wisdom Wednesday, and you can view all the past videos. I've been doing these every week for like 5.5 to 6 years. Like, there's a lot of content on this page. So make sure to check out past videos if you want some more quick chapter education units. Now, the next easiest one is one-to-ones. So schedule your one-to-ones, guys. When you're at your weekly meeting, if you don't have one scheduled for the week, make sure that you're actively scheduling them. That's the great thing about open networking, is being able to connect with your fellow members, schedule those one-to-ones, and of course, getting to be introduced to the amazing visitors in the room. But utilize that time to set up your one-to-ones. All you need is one one-to-one per week to get the credit for the power of one numbers. And it's all about relationships in BNI. So if you're not having one-to-ones with your fellow members, you're missing the mark. You want to make sure that you're actively keeping engaged with your fellow members, whether it's members of your own chapter and even members of other chapters. So cross-chapter one-to-ones do count. I have had a lot of questions lately with how to record a cross-chapter one-to-one, or how to record a cross-chapter referral. And one of the things you're going to want to do, guys, is when you're in your slips, next to the member drop-down menu is going to be a magnifying glass. When you click on that magnifying glass, that's where you can search for the member that's in another chapter, whether it's here in Arizona, a different state, or a different country. It's a worldwide search. Now, the key thing with that search, I would recommend typing in a couple letters of the first and last name, because if you spell the name incorrectly, it won't give you similar matches. So I would highly recommend doing that, and then it'll pull up the list. You can click their name and log that one-to-one or submit that referral. So those are the 3 easiest things, guys. Attendance, chapter education units, and one-to-ones. Just getting those 3 things, you're going to be in the yellow on the power of one. Super, super easy. Now, the additional ones, as you're building relationships through those one-to-ones, referrals start happening, right? So a referral is a new relationship that you're introducing to a fellow member. So you want to make sure that we're logging all of those different referrals. Now, if you personally use someone's services for the first time in BNI within any chapter, make sure you're logging your own referrals as well. Remember, on the referral slip, inside and outside referrals. Inside referrals meaning that you personally are using someone's services. Outside referral is meaning that you are referring someone other than yourself to a fellow BNI member. So just to keep that in mind, because we do track inside and outside referrals on the PALMS report. And the reason being, as we're building relationships, it's good as a member to know if you're receiving a lot of inside referrals, so just surface level referrals from your fellow BNI members that are personally using your services, or are the one-to-ones really working to where you're building deep relationships to where members are referring outside people to you. That's one of the things that you should be looking at in your own PALMS numbers to see what type of education you should be providing your fellow members in those one-to-ones. So As you have the one-to-ones, you're going to get those referrals. It's going to come. And if you pass on average 1 referral per week, that gets you your referrals for the power of 1. And then the additional one is the cherry on top is the visitor. So if you get on average 1 visitor per month, that will give you the full points on the power of 1 for the visitor column. Now, visitors are the lifeblood of BNI. They say on average a visitor passes about $1,500 worth of business to fellow members, whether they join or not. So keep in mind, guys, as we're inviting visitors for member extravaganza or any regular BNI meeting, we want to make sure that we're not pre-qualifying someone or thinking that they're too busy or thinking that they might not be a good fit. If they represent an open category, invite them. It's like inviting to a party. Have them come check it out. That's why we have membership committees to vet applicants to make sure that we're bringing in the right people. But just bringing them to the meeting is providing a lot of value for your chapter because you're really introducing them to all of the members in the chapter, and they could potentially pass business to your fellow members. So make sure that you're inviting. And of course, if they represent an open category and it's their first visit, you do get visitor credit on the power of 1. So I wanted to make sure to clarify all of that so that way everyone knows what goals to hit. Now, another quick thing that I just wanted to mention, guys, because I've been getting a lot of questions of all different kinds. So one of the things that I created for our director team is a who to contact sheet. So I wanted to share with you guys some really quick resources. So your number 1 contact as a member, as a leadership team, will be your chapter's BNI director. Now, how to know who your BNI director is if you're unsure of who it is, especially if you're a brand new member and maybe they haven't visited your chapter for the month yet. But if you go to your chapter's page on bniarizona.com, if you click on the chapter list, find your chapter, at the very bottom of all the leadership and support team roles, you'll see the chapter director listed at the bottom there. And it'll have a contact link, so that way you can contact them via email. It'll also have their phone number as well. So that's going to be your first point of contact for different questions that you may have. Now, if you have questions about name tags, so this has been a really popular one lately. So name tags, if you're needing to order a new name tag, all you need to do is go to bniarizona.com, so the public website, click on the resources tab, and there's going to be a name badge order button there. And from there, once you submit it, we'll get an invoice sent over to you so that way you can pay for the order. And then Kim DeHaan, who creates all of our name tags, will get them shipped out directly to you. So if you are in need of a new name badge, that's where to go. Right on bniarizona.com and click on the resources tab. Now, if anyone has conflicts or challenges, so one of the great things that we have added this year is an amazing guy named Ken Keegler. He is a 20 plus BNI member from the East Coast, and he actually assists all of our chapters on conflicts and challenges. So as a member, if you personally are in a situation to where you're experiencing a conflict or challenge, Ken will be able to direct you in the direction of how to get that resolved. Now, on the flip side, if you're on membership committee or vice president and you have a conflict or challenge, you can also reach out to Ken Keegler. And if you need him, let me know. I can send you his phone number directly, so that way I'm not sharing it on this video. But let me know if you need him, and I can send him your way. He helps several different BNI regions all around the U.S., all around conflicts and challenges. He's very versed on how to resolve situations in a positive way. Absolutely love, love, love it. So, conflicts and challenges, hashtag call Ken. Not call Kristen, call Ken. And tech support, guys. So, I personally cannot fix tech issues. I can send tickets, but so can you. So, I wanted to let you guys know an easy way to send a support ticket, and probably the fastest way, because you'll have to go through a middle person if you email me, and then I have to email them. So you can email them directly because we actually have paid them to be our personal support. So how to get tech support. So if you can't sign in to BNI Connect or BNI Business Builder, or you're having email login issues, or if you're trying to change your email and it's not working, usually that means there's a something already existing, like a visitor entry that has the old email or your new email listed in it. So if that's the case, BNI Connect support can help you get that resolved. So if you have any tech issues, BNI Connect support is going to be your go-to. So how to connect with them? Again, BNIArizona.com. The public website has so many resources on it. So go to BNIArizona.com. On the home page of the website, you don't have to click anywhere, but on the home page, just scroll down just a little bit, and there's a big red member support button. When you click on that, it'll open up the tech support ticket. You type in what you need, you send it, and they're going to respond within a few hours. Like, they're pretty quick with getting the responses and getting everything reset for you. If you have any issues with that, you can definitely let me know. But that is how to contact tech support. You're going to want to send a ticket through the member support link on the BNI Arizona website. That's the fastest way to get a hold of them. Because if you email me, I can help, but my help is sending the ticket. So you can send the tickets yourself right through the BNI Arizona website, and it'll be a much faster process for you, so that way you can get it resolved much quicker. If you have any questions on any of this information, guys, let me know. I did send out an email last Friday, guys, that has all of the Benigno and member extravaganza information in it. And it does have a little secret nugget at the bottom of the email. So I don't know how many of you have read that email from Friday. It does have a lot of information in it. It has 5 different topics. But I would skim through it and get to the bottom where it has a great little nugget that will provide you extra visibility on this page. Thank you guys for tuning in to this week's edition of Wisdom Wednesday. And as always, remember to log that one chapter education unit. Thanks so much, and we'll see you next week.